So far we've written our whole project in one big file, and I want to start breaking it up into separate files. But before we do that, I want to show you an important concept in Imba about how you define tags and import them into other files. So as an example, I've set up this simple thing here where I'm mounting a div, and it just has the string food goes here. And I've defined some foods as tags in these two other files, breakfast.imba and dinner.imba. So let's look at breakfast.imba. I have 3 tags here: red apple, hot bread, and fresh egg. They each just have an emoji representing a food item. So I want to use these back in index, and so let's import some breakfast. I'll say import ./breakfast, and then down here I'm going to put red apple, hot bread, fresh egg. So I've imported our 3 tags here from breakfast. But you'll notice that I didn't import anything specific. I didn't import those specific tags. I just imported the entire file. And if we go into breakfast, you'll see that I'm not exporting anything from this file. Okay, we'll come back to this. Let's look at the dinner file. In the dinner file, I defined 2 tags, rice bowl and too many tacos. Each of these is being exported. And you'll notice the way I've named these tags is actually different. These use a capital letter for each word and no dash separator. When we look at breakfast, these are all lowercase with a dash separating the words. So this naming convention is actually very important. When you name the tags this way, with all lowercase, Imba registers the tag as a global component. If you import the file that contains it once, anywhere, it's available everywhere in your project, just by virtue of importing it one time. While these ones, named with capital letters, have to be exported and then specifically imported to where you want to use them. So let's try that. Import rice bowl, too many tacos from dinner. Okay, let's try using that. Rice bowl, too many tacos. Okay, so we've got our rice bowl and we've got our tacos. But to use these ones, the ones with capital letters, we had to explicitly import those tags, and we had to explicitly export them from the dinner file. Now, just to demonstrate that once you've imported a file that defines these globally registered components, they're available everywhere, I'm going to go into the dinner file, and I'm actually going to make a new tag here called export tag breakfast for dinner. And inside of there, I'm going to use some of those breakfast foods. So red apple, hot bread, fresh egg. Now, the file that defines these tags is not imported into this dinner file. But just because it's imported here means that it's now available everywhere in my project, even in this file that doesn't reference it. So let's try this just to prove it to ourselves. I'm going to put a break here and then say breakfast for dinner. Oh, which I actually need to import. I almost forgot. So that one is a locally defined component that I need to import from the file it's defined in. And there's our breakfast for dinner tag. So to review, any tag named with all lowercase and dash separating the words is a globally defined tag that's registered as a web component. And any tag that's named with capital letters and no separators is a locally defined tag that needs to be explicitly exported and imported, which is handy if you want to ensure that this tag is only used in a particular subsection of your project. But in our project, just for convenience, we're using this globally defined tag strategy. So I just wanted you to be aware of the difference before we go to the next lesson where we're going to split up our tags into separate files.